So the Biden administration is changing course on the new infrastructure package, and some of you may qualify to receive a bonus payment from the IRS. And that comes as unemployed Americans are urging lawmakers to pass another fourth stimulus bill. What are your thoughts on this, everybody? Do our politicians in Congress need to pass a fourth stimulus bill and a fourth stimulus check? Tell me your thoughts on this in the comments below.
President Joe Biden is issuing a stark warning to Republicans who stand in the way of his infrastructure goals.
If you're going to try to take credit for what you've done, don't get in the way of what we still need to do.
His response comes after GOP senators issued a $928 billion counteroffer to his $1.7 trillion infrastructure plan.
We're trying to get to that common goal of reaching a bipartisan infrastructure agreement.
The Republican proposal includes $506 billion for roads and bridges, $72 billion for water infrastructure.
And we weren't talking about cutting them either then. That was trying to figure out how we got through a debacle where the whole government didn't shut down. And so look,
Now there is a chance that you might still be getting a stimulus check, folks, especially if you recently filed your taxes. CNBC reports that the US government is still sending out stimulus checks related to the American Rescue Plan Act, which was approved in Congress back in March 2021, specifically these people receiving plus-up payments.
Reach a deal, maybe not this, obviously not the size that President Biden has proposed, but maybe something a little bit larger than what the GOP put forth earlier today.
Yeah, I feel like if I were to bet someone else's money right now, that I would bet on something happening, because essentially you have at least some Republicans saying we want something to happen. I think that Joe Biden is not Barack Obama in the sense of he is more willing to compromise. And if they can all basically, walk away from something that's passed to say, we checked that box off.
Let's say you got your stimulus check based on your 2019 tax returns. But then you filed your 2020 tax return after you got your check. Based on your earnings, you could get more money because your income dropped. For example, people are eligible for plus-up payments if they made less money in 2020 than 2019. Fast Company reports that the IRS will send you an extra payment once it knows about your income changes. The Washington Post also reports that Congress added the plus-up payment to make sure that the IRS could deal with backlog of tax returns amid the crisis. According to the Washington Post, aware of the backlog at the IRS, Congress gave the agency the ability during the stimulus relief round to circle back and essentially top off people who were shortchanged because the tax situation changed in 2020. And members of a powerful congressional committee are calling for additional rounds of economic relief from the federal government for families still struggling during the crisis. The third round of stimulus relief squeaked through Congress thanks to a budget loophole when it failed to find bipartisan support. Since that time, numerous Republican governors have refused federal unemployment insurance benefits, arguing they encourage people to stay at home and collect money instead of getting back to work. Fortunately, lawmakers can use the budget reconciliation process again to pass more relief payments. And when asked about stimulus checks earlier this month, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said, "We will see what members of Congress propose." Now, the government has already issued 3 direct payments since the beginning of the crisis. In the latest round of stimulus checks, the US government said it sent roughly 159 million direct payments to households, with a total value of $376 billion.
They're going to be coming to the table in any real way on a lot of these issues that you guys want.
Well, first I would say on police reform, there are ongoing negotiations that both Senator Booker, Senator Scott, and Congresswoman Bass have all conveyed are making progress, and they're encouraged by the tone and tenor of those conversations. That's a good sign. I talked earlier about how the president is going to be signing a bipartisan piece of legislation into law later this afternoon. Senator Murkowski and Senator Young will be here. There are a range of opportunities to work together in a bipartisan way, including on the Frontiers Act that has since been renamed, but you know the one I'm talking about.